What's up, guys? Welcome back to Nuts and Bolts Auto, and today we're working on 1983 Chevrolet El Camino. We're gonna change out the fuel filter on the external fuel pump. It's a universal pump, and we're also gonna change the air filter today. So stay tuned and hope you guys enjoy the video. So to start off, the fuel filter is right here on the frame. You might have to lift up the car if you can't get yourself under there, but I'm gonna go ahead and try it out as is. So here's the fuel pump on the frame. The tires right there. Anyway, so here's the pump. We're gonna be replacing this filter, and you just need a 12mm to unscrew it right here, and a flathead to take off this hose clamp. Alright, so we're gonna take off this hose clamp right here to disconnect the hose. Just make sure you got safety glasses on, because fuel's gonna come out of here. So after loosening the hose, all the fuel's coming out that's in the line. So I'm just gonna let it drain out and resume removing the hose and the filter once it stops. So it's still leaking, but I'm gonna go ahead and pull the hose off so all the gas comes out faster. We got the hose off. I'm gonna go ahead and take this filter off. Alright, so this thing's not stopping from leaking, so I'm gonna use some hose pinch off pliers to close it up. Okay, with the hose pinched off, the fuel's not coming off anymore, so I'm gonna go ahead and take off the filter. Here we have the new fuel filter, and we're gonna apply thread sealant to the threads to install it. Just make sure that whatever sealant you're using is safe to use with fuel. Just get the filter in by hand as far as it'll go and snug it up with the wrench. So now with the fuel filter on, just unclamp the hose again, put it back on, and just tighten it right back up. When you tighten it up, just make sure not to get it too tight, because then it'll start ripping the hose. Also, if when you're putting it on and you see that your hose is cracked, you might as well replace the line before you get any leaks. With everything back together, go ahead and clean up the whole area with rags. Make sure everything's nice and dry. And open the key so you can get the pump running and check for leaks around the area. Once you verified there's no leaks anywhere on the hoses, whatever you removed off, no leaks right here on the filter on the hose, then you're good to go. This job is done, and now we're off to change the air filter. The reason why you want to cycle the key on and off is because it's an electric fuel pump and it needs to prime itself. Every time you turn on the key, it turns on and it runs. So you need to prime it to get all the air out and make sure the lines are all full of fuel. You might get a little bit of a rough start in the beginning, but it should all level out. Moving on from changing the fuel filter, now we're gonna clean the air filter because it's all dirty. So this is just part of regular maintenance. You want to check the air filter regularly, that it's not too dirty. To remove this kind of air filter, you get this butterfly nut, twist it off and remove it, and just pull the filter off of the carburetor. Once it's off, we're gonna wash it off and spray it with this air filter cleaner to remove all the oil that's on it right now and all the contamination. Once you've cleaned it, then you've got to make sure to dry it all and then apply the oil. It's really important to note that if you have a newer vehicle that has a mass airflow sensor, you want to make sure that you apply the correct amount of air filter oil, because if you over oil these reusable filters, the oil will damage the mass airflow sensor and then you're just gonna have to replace it, and it's a pretty expensive part. So in this case it's just the carburetor, so it doesn't really matter that much, but just keep in mind if you're working on a newer car, be careful with the oil. Now with everything nice and clean and oiled, it's just reverse of the procedure to remove it. So here we are, done with the project for today. Hope you guys learned something. If not, at least found it entertaining. Thank you guys for watching. Please hit like, subscribe, share, comment, and all those other goodies. See you next week.